Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Susan Valakis, and I'm the Training Development Coordinator at Now Foods. And as such, I bring you these webinars on the third Thursday of each month. And if you've missed any of them, you can find replays on our website at nowfoods.com/webinars or on our Now Foods YouTube channel. Today's webinar will be presented by one of Now's very own, Jim Golick. Jim is a certified and licensed dietitian nutritionist in Illinois. He's been in the industry for over 40 years and has a long history with Now Foods in both retail management and nutrition counseling, as well as in the corporate environment. He's currently part of the product information team at Now, where he answers questions and shares his vast knowledge with retailers, consumers, and practitioners from all around the world. If you have any questions regarding the information in today's presentation or about Now products in general, you can reach out to Jim or others in the Now Nutrition team at productinfo@nowfoods.com. And you'll see that right there on your screen. So if you want to jot it down, productinfo@nowfoods.com. So with that, let's welcome Jim Golick to tell us about Now's newest product releases.
Hello and welcome, everyone. This is Jim Golick, here to talk about our new products for the first quarter of 2021. And we have not too many, and I'll tell you why in a moment, that we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about extra strength resveratrol, a wonderful new product called Macular Vision, and salted caramel almonds. Normally, we would have quite a few more new products to talk about, but because of the continuing COVID-19 issues, there have been major disruptions in the supply chain of getting new products or existing products to us. Even new products have been difficult to be able to get through the supply chain issues. COVID-19 has caused issues all around the world, and our company is no different. So this has been unfortunate, but that is a natural state of things here in 2021, and looks like it will be continuing for the near future as it has been since 2020. So we will talk about these products here, and then we'll get going, okay? So let's start off with our extra strength resveratrol. It is 350 milligram, which is from 700 milligrams of Japanese knotweed extract. And the nice thing that people might know about resveratrol is that it's a great free radical scavenger. Now, some people are not familiar with that term. The common term that many people have been using over the years is like antioxidant. Well, you could substitute the term antioxidant and free radical scavenger. They mean approximately the same thing, but in its way, resveratrol has been mentioned in the scientific literature by that term. However, the FDA for a number of years now has restricted the proper use of this term in the promotion or discussion of dietary supplements to only specific nutrients such as vitamin C and vitamin E and beta carotene and selenium that are nutrients that have known roles as antioxidants. Certainly we know that in nature there are many fruits and vegetables and herbs that have these roles to play in different ways. And so collectively, we could refer to them as antioxidants, but more appropriately, free radical scavenger when we're talking about the marketing of dietary supplements. So resveratrol also is known for its cardiovascular support properties and cellular anti-aging properties. And it does help to promote a healthy response to biological stress. And this product is also having trouble here advancing my slide. Give me a moment here. Here we go. This product is our highest strength resveratrol, which is 350 milligrams compared to our 200 milligram product, which we still currently have as well. So it is quite a bit more potent. The thing about resveratrol is that it's not as well absorbed. There have been research that's been attempted on resveratrol for a number of years to enhance the bioavailability of resveratrol, but it has been a challenge ongoing. Now let's talk about a wonderful product called Macular Vision. Now, this is a unique kind of a product. It contains a patented marigold extract called xanthosite in a base of fish oil. So you're getting two great nutrients, compounds that can be beneficial for the body and for especially the eyes, for blue light protection and for sharpness and visual focus. And we're going to get into quite a bit more about that in a moment. Now, the nice thing about this is that it features three particular carotenoid compounds: lutein, zeaxanthin, and something that's not as familiar to most people, the Meso-Zeaxanthin, in appropriate ratios that have been clinically tested and found to promote optimal eye health and visual performance and cognitive function, which we'll talk about more a little bit later on. So the neat thing about this, now, when we think of carotenoids, most people think of maybe beta carotene, or might think, oh, well, carrots have orange color and that's good for your eyes. Yes, that is true. However, there are 600 carotenoids found in nature, but only 3 are found in the eye. And those 3 are specifically the lutein, the zeaxanthin, and the Meso-Zeaxanthin, which is not, most eye formulas do not have the Meso-Zeaxanthin in there. And I'm going to talk in a moment about why that can be an important factor. So when we think of the macula of the eye, somewhere in the eye. Where is it in the eye? Well, it's in the back of the eye. It's in the retinal area, and it's responsible for very sharp focus and color differentiation. So these particular carotenoid pigments act as a filter for cell-damaging blue light, which comes from the sun, but also from other devices, which we'll talk about in a moment. So unlike lutein and zeaxanthin, Meso-Zeaxanthin is not obtained through the diet, and it's certainly not available in most eye support products. I don't care what eye support product on the market. It's something that your eye doctor might have suggested to you, or something that you find in health food stores, or even in our existing product line. The unique thing about this is the Meso-Zeaxanthin that is in there, and we'll talk about why in a moment. To enhance the bioavailability, xanthosite, the raw material, patented material that's used in our macular vision, has been formulated with fish oil. So carotenoids are in the fish oil for this product. It makes it more bioavailable because of the fat soluble nature. So let's take a moment here to go deeper into this product if we can, or actually into the mechanism of the eye. So this picture here on the far right shows the macula straight back in the center of the retina area, which is where the focus of the eyes centers. So it provides the sharp vision needed for activities such as reading and writing and color perception. So the word macula, by the way, is short for the Latin macula lutea, which means yellow spot. And as you can see, this diagram here shows the yellowish nature of the eye. So although zeaxanthin is a dominant carotenoid in the macula, in the central portion of the retina, which contains the largest concentration of the photoreceptor cells. Remember from our biology classes in school, the rods and the cones that are responsible for good vision and especially good night vision and things like that. Those are in the retina of the eye. So the macula is the central portion of the retina. So it turns out that Meso-Zeaxanthin is concentrated in the central region of the macula. So it is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. And that is what makes this a uniquely beneficial product. But let's go further. Let's talk about why this may be important. When we talk about light, sunlight is the main source of blue light exposure. And there are also man-made sources of blue light, including fluorescent lights and LED lighting, TVs, computers, tablet screens, smartphones. They also emit significant amounts of blue light. Now, these devices, these electronic devices, emit only a small fraction of that emitted by the sun. They're certainly not as strong as sunlight, but the amount of time that we spend using these devices and their close proximity to the face and the eyes have many healthcare professionals concerned about what's going on, long-term effects of this blue light on eye health. Now, if you look at the blue light over here on the diagram, the chart on the right, you'll see you have the visible light in the orange, yellow, green spectrum and blue light. And then you have the invisible radiation, the ultraviolet or UV light. Well, blue light represents about a third of all visible light. And it is a high energy visible light or HEV. Now, some cell phones, many of you might be familiar with, have a built-in night light, night vision, or a blue light filter for using them. It kind of gives a yellowish hue to the screen instead of kind of a more clearish bluish light to the screen. That's to help reduce exposure to the blue light spectrum in that regard. Now, interestingly, different kinds of the light spectrum, the UVA and UVB light, which is why we wear sunglasses to protect our eyes. Those can block UV rays to a great extent, but they tend to have wider, longer wavelengths. So the lens of the eye, even if we didn't have sunglasses, and the cornea can help to absorb most of the UVA and UVB rays, but the eyes are not very good at blocking blue light because it has a shorter wavelength. It's a more high intensity beam, and it can penetrate all the way through the eye, all the way back to the retinal area, which is where the macula is. So this is where people that do a lot of sunbathing especially may be more prone to certain issues later in life. Now, visible light is not always bad, and blue light is certainly not always bad, because visible light can boost alertness, and it can help memory and thinking and mood. And there are people during the winter months that like to have light therapy to help brighten their mood. So exposure to too much blue light can damage light-sensitive cells in the retina and the macula, and that's what we're trying to work to reduce that potential. Now, what about the cognitive benefits that I was talking about before? Well, population-based studies have shown that higher concentrations of carotenoids are associated with better cognitive performance in healthy individuals. And I'll talk about what that means a little bit later on. So we do know, for instance, that consumption of green leafy vegetables, which happen to be rich in the carotenoid lutein, is shown to be significantly related to slower rates of cognitive decline in healthy individuals. And studies have also shown that carotenoid concentrations are lower in individuals with cognitive impairment in comparison to healthy individuals. Now, interestingly, there's been research showing that supplemental retinal carotenoids, like the ones we were talking about earlier, support memory in individuals that happen to have low levels of macular pigment. which is interesting. So, as Mother used to tell us, eat your fruits and vegetables, of course. And it is also helpful to know that we have a product available that can help our eyes and our brain as well. So when we talk about cognitive benefits or cognitive competence, what are we referring to? Well, there are 5 major cognitive skills, starting with attention in the upper left that would give us, for instance, academic success and working memory, organization and planning skills. That's the attention part of the brain. The sensory motor part of the brain in the magenta color, that is for gross and fine motor skills and eye-hand coordination and success in sports. And then the visual region in the back of the brain for understanding spatial and math concepts and visual learning and organization of space. And for the social and emotion aspects, making friends, managing conflict and building confidence and things like that are where the orange portion of the brain is. And then the auditory portion in the blue area for remembering instructions, reading, comprehension, and solving problem questions. So that is kind of a quick primer on the brain health in that regard. Now, I like to end my talks with a discussion on a sweet note, and this time is no different. We have coming out, it probably is not going to be early as we would like in 2021 because of the COVID-19 issue. It's not out yet. May or may not be out in March, but we're eagerly awaiting this. My mouth is drooling just looking at the picture. The salted caramel almonds are wonderfully decadent, sweet, silky caramel, enrobing fresh, crunchy salted almonds. And it is also going to be available in a new packaging that we're going to be having coming out in all of our packages of this nature throughout 2021. It'll stand up better and it'll have a better zipper that seals better. So the product has almonds, of course, sugar, seasoning, which is made of evaporated cane sugar, natural flavors, sea salt, molasses powder, and natural flavor in salt. So there's some of you that might be wondering, like, why are you having products with sugar in them? Well, people have a sweet tooth. I have to admit, I do myself, but they should be hopefully controlled. So that this product is something that one can, eat in moderation, a handful or so at a time, that'd be fine. But again, I'm hoping it's not so good that myself and other people are going to want to eat the whole bag because that defeats the purpose. Too many calories as well. So moderation in all things, including the things for our sweet tooth, I think is what I would advise, and what everybody I think would, hopefully most people would agree makes sense. Okay, so anyway, that wraps it up for this brief first quarter of 2021, and we hopefully will have more products later in the year to talk about, and stay tuned for those. And I'll turn it back over to Sue.
Well, thank you, Jim. Boy, we may be short on products, but we're not short on information. Thank you. That was wonderful to have that understanding of just how the eye, the nutrients get in there and why we need them. And for the brain, that's an awesome, awesome product. As you were speaking, I was also thinking, and then you mentioned it, what is going to happen? Are we going to start seeing a earlier decline of eye health because of, the last 20 years, right? When computers just started coming out on the market where everybody was using them. Now we have the tablets and the cell phones, and
and we even have toddlers that are getting a hold of their parents' cell phones and peering in them and using them. So yeah, I mean, it's happened in a much earlier age and much longer period of an entire lifetime potentially.
Right.
So yes, it's very likely going to be the case. So we can do something about it, hopefully.
Yeah, I have a 1.5-year-old grandson, and boy, he can get a hold of that phone, and he knows how to swipe and and tap on it and everything else,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's what they want. That's
yeah.
that's unfortunately that's what they want. So we have to be really, really careful. So, and did you say when we were talking about the resveratrol, is the trans resveratrol? Did you say that is more bioavailable?
Uh, no, I was
Oh,
not
okay.
mentioning. No, it did not say that. There's just been a challenge to achieve high blood levels in bloodstream of natural resveratrol, which this product is, and so are other ones. There have been drug companies that have been trying to develop synthetic versions of resveratrol to enhance the bioavailability of it, but that's been going on for well over 10 years, and I haven't heard any updates in recent years about it. I'm not sure where that stands in that regard, but I'd rather take my chances with doing it in Mother Nature's way. Besides
Mhm.
knotweed, of course, the original resveratrol that everybody was, the new early research done 20 plus years ago was this component found in red wine that people said, oh yeah, that's found in red wine. This is why, the French paradox and things of that nature. There's been more ongoing research showing that, yes, it's of some benefit to cardiovascular health, as I talked about earlier, but also does have, as I mentioned earlier, cellular anti-aging properties, which I don't have time to get into today, which is why I didn't mention it, but there are some neat ways of theoretically slowing down the biological clock.
Mhm. Well, we all need that, right? So,
Yeah, time marches on, doesn't it?
yeah. All right, and I can't wait to try those salted caramel almonds. Oh, they sound
Yes,
wonderful. But I
yes, they
bet you
do.
can't eat just one.
Nope.
So, but like you said, in moderation,
Right,
moderation.
right.
So, all right. Well, thank you again for an excellent presentation, and we will look forward to getting back with you mid-year and find out what other new products now has coming out
Okay.
on market. So
All right.
thanks again, and thank you
You're
everyone
welcome.
for joining us. Okay.
Take care all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.